Okay, here we are. Um, wow. Could you imagine if that was a rum and coke? Hang on, I gotta turn this off. Too bad that thing makes so much noise because it's kind of cold down here. Or it was. Um, anyway, the camera's there. This is the new camera setup for those of you who don't know or haven't seen it. So here it is. But so that's why it looks like I'm looking away because I guess because I am. Right? So I'm waiting for the thing to pop up here so that I can go to the feed. Hello, hello, hello. We're still a couple minutes early. So let's see. Oh, hang on. Turn my speaker off so I can't hear myself. There we are, live now. Okay, and do the box view thing. Whiskey. I don't have any whiskey. I am like low. I don't even have any rum right now. I got no whiskey. I think the only thing I have is vodka. I could make some martinis. Martinis aren't bad. All right, let's go to the. There we go. Okay. Hey, there it is. All right. Oh, pull my ears off. Ow, that was my knee. I just discovered this thing's not totally stable. Imagine that. So I'm gonna have to shim it, or I could screw it to the countertop, or whatever I need to do, right? Okay. It's 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock. So, as you notice, the P47 is aluminum. And if you watch the video I made about chilling out, you probably heard me make a statement of there's no way I was gonna do this in aluminum because of what it is. It's a monogram kit and there's so many issues or whatever. And I went to go paint it in olive drab neutral gray and discovered I couldn't really find, I had a neutral gray, but I couldn't find any olive drab. So apparently I'm out. And there just happened to be a bottle of Alclad aluminum that was almost empty. So I shot it. And in the process, I fogged the whole basement up. And so yeah, it was interesting. So anyway, so you know, it. Anyway, so it doesn't look bad. You know, I was looking at it earlier, and it looks pretty good. There's a little bit of stuff here. This is pretty bad here, but it's got to be there's got to be an anti-glare panel, so I can sand some of that out, whatnot. I'm not gonna bother doing different panels and stuff. You know, that stuff looks good. You know, when you take the time to do the different panels and this and that and the other thing, the different shades of aluminum. But sometimes I wonder about the accuracy of it. At least on the smaller aircraft. You know, something like a P-51 where the panel around the exhaust is it stainless or whatever it is? That one panel, it makes sense. And I think it makes sense if you do it and it's subtle. But it has to be subtle. So anyway. So yeah, so here it is. So it's natural metal, and I don't know where I'm going to go from here, because that's the way I roll, right? not going to work on this tonight. It's just sitting here because I sat it here, and I had to cut the drop tank tubes off because pretty much anything that was sticking out of the airframe, like the antenna and the gun barrels and the pitot and all that stuff, I cut it all off, all of it. And I'll replace it. I got a drawer full of tubing and brass stock and aluminum tubing and everything else. So, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put this in the shoe box. Remember my shoe boxes? My plastic shoe boxes that I get at the grocery store for $1. You should buy this for $1 because these are great. Because your kit, 48 scale kit, a lot of them even with the wings on will fit in here. Okay. Will this one? I don't know. Let's see. Not quite. But that's okay, because then all you got to do, lift it up, put this like this, boom. Done. Everything's in that box. And I can set it over here. So, you're probably wondering, what are we going to do? So am I. No. Hang on. I'm right here. Okay. Messing around with a bunch of stuff today. Alright, so there we go. I figured we could spend some time weathering this guy. And he's a little dusty. Interesting. And how we're going to do that is with pastels on this one. At least to start with. So we'll put this over here. And we'll put this here like this. Actually, can I put him over here? Is there room over there for that? Oh, I forgot. See this? This is the to-do list for the P-47. There we go. All right. I didn't used to do lists, but I can't remember anything anymore. And people keep telling me because I'm old, but I don't know. I'm not sure they're right. Okay. So this right here is my palette for my pastels. Actually, it's a piece of 120 grit sandpaper. But it works great for a palette for pastels. So what are we going to do? Well, I have different things. So this is grays right here that I have. Can you see those? And then this is a set of different things that I got on clearance at some place for $7 many moons ago. And yeah, so there's pastel, I should say there's pastel chalk, and then there's oil-based pastel, like crayons. You want the chalk. You don't want the crayons. Although, I don't know, the crayons might work. People use colored pencils. So, I don't know. That might work. So, I'm going to take some gray. I need some gray. And I want some black. And how about some light gray? And how about some white? Okay. Now, the trick to using this stuff is you have to be careful that you don't really touch. After you put it on, you don't want to touch it until you seal it. What the heck was that? Oh, cola bottle. Hang on. There we go. So, and you just want a fine, well, you don't need a fine brush, obviously, but you want a brush. And you can just come in here, like I'm doing, and just brush this stuff on. One thing that you really, this is something you really need to do a lot to kind of get the hang of it. And something you need to realize when you're doing this is you need to overdo it. And that's where the practice comes in. But yeah, it's something that it's so subtle, or if you do it subtle, when you clear coat it, it'll disappear. So you got to be pretty heavy-handed with it. Well, depending on what you, on where depending on where you're going with it. So I'm just trying to get some streaked effect from the coral. It's on the islands. This is a Marine Corps bird, so it's an island hopper. So yeah, and I don't know. Can you see? Yeah, you can see that. So this looks pretty stark, but once I flat coat that, it's going to tone it way down. Which kind of stinks right here because I like that. That looks really good like that. But I can only do what I can do, right? The good thing is you can do it, you can flat coat it, and then you can do it again, right? I need to put that arrow. I need to put something right here that says, this is the face camera right here. So, and let me go over this side. So, what was I doing earlier today that I wanted to tell you guys about? Oh, you may or may not heard. Oh, that's why it was sitting up on the... You may or may not have heard that... heard of Scale Colors that just got released, which is Jeff Hearn's paint line he just released. Now you see how blatant this is right here? This right here, it looks really crazy right now, but it'll tone way down. I'm gonna need more white. And yeah, I haven't painted the formation lights or anything over here. Okay. Looks pretty good so far, huh? Now, what about here? What do we do here? Well, I'm going to start with some of this light gray in here. Just kind of get in here a little bit. And but what we're gonna end up really kind of moving toward the dark gray pretty quick. Because this white got, these things. Okay, back to Jeff. Oh, sorry. Anyway, so Bill West released a video today about Jeff Hearn scale colors. So we'll talk about Jeff Hearn because Jeff Steffen is the guy that's keeping me on track here because I'm old and I can't remember what I'm doing. Anyway, so Jeff Hearn released Scale Colors. Started out really kind of on concentrating on naval stuff, if I remember correctly. The stuff just came out. It's an acrylic. You know, Jeff is quite the accomplished modeler. He was, I believe, the editor-in-chief at Fine Scale Modeler for many years. Anyway, so yeah, he's so I don't know, like I say, and Bill West did a video earlier today, released it earlier today on his impression of the paint. He seemed to like it. I'm kind of in a dilemma myself because I like toxic stuff. I like enamels. I like lacquers. I'm not a huge acrylics fan, but I realize that this is the way of the world and that, you know, I can't be trusted with my own health, so I have to have somebody tell me what I can and can't use. You know, yeah, anyway. So, and Bill seemed to have a pretty good impression of it. And I'm not surprised because, like I said, Jeff's been around the block for a while, and Jeff knows, you know, he's a modeler. He's not a chemist. So he, you know, he knows what the market is lacking, and probably what drove him to trying, you know, to doing this stuff is that he probably got tired of not being able to find his naval colors that he needed for his builds, is my guess. So, yeah. Blow the excess off. Okay, I'm not really crazy about this right here. And this is, you know, this isn't necessarily the last step. I'll probably blow some Tamiya smoke in there later. Okay. That was pretty quick, right? I mean, that didn't take long at all, and I'm not. I think I need some more white over here. We'll see what happens when we clear coat it. Like I said, you can do it, you know, you can go back and go over it. So that's not a problem. Okay, so now I'm going to flip it. This is where you got to be careful that you don't touch where you just did your stuff. Okay, get these out of here. I'll face it this way. It's easier for me. I'm going to put the canopy in. Okay, this is where the grays come in more so than the whites. Now, let me see if I can tip it up here. So these airfields were made out of crushed coral. And So when it rained, they turned into mud. And that stuff, I mean, I've seen Corsairs with just mud caked up. Seen pictures of Corsairs with mud caked all over the bottom of the wings, mud all the way up the side of the aircraft, and not necessarily washed off, you know, left like that. So, point being, you can get away with a lot. And I'm going to really try and blend these in up here quite a bit. And really what I'm doing is not only trying to do the, you know, get the wear from the core roll. Why do I keep saying coil? Because I've been working on cars for too many years. And then I can come back and do my chipping and do my, you know, other stuff. Chipping and panel lines and all that crazy nonsense. And I'm just kind of doing what I just let it happen. Oh, that was a lot, but that's okay. That was a lot, but we'll just use it, right? No reason to panic. We'll just take it. Like I said, this will a lot of this will disappear with the clear coat. That said, that was a lot. Oops. Okay, you need to stay. I guess I need to calm down. That's what I need to calm down. It needs to stay, and I need to calm down. Okay. You know, and you can get the same effect, I guess, with the marble coat thing that people are doing and all this other stuff. But there's nothing wrong with these old school techniques that have been around forever. They still work, obviously. The question is can I get this on here without, wow, that's really stark, without breaking the landing gear off. Sitting here going, I'm going to break the landing gear out this thing if I'm not careful. Okay. I heard he was working on RLM. Heard necessity is the mother of invention. Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Necessity is definitely the mother of invention. Okay, so what do you think about that? That's looking pretty good. So the sides are always kind of hard to do. That was a lot again. Or maybe it's just because that light gray is so contrasts so crazily with the blue. Yeah. Now the nice thing about the pastels is if you don't like it, you can rinse it off. Obviously, before you clear coat it. Right? Important. Remember that. If you want to rinse it off, you have to do it before you clear coat it. Otherwise, it won't work too well. While I'm messing around with this canopy, Now, before I say this, I'm going to say like I always do. You do what you want to do. But I'm just pointing out things that I think are interesting. A lot of times you'll see a model that is all weathered and the paint's faded and whatnot. And you look at the canopy frames, and the canopy frames are pristine. And I say a lot of times, maybe I shouldn't say a lot of times, but it's prevalent enough that I've noticed it over the years. Let me put it that way. And that's because a lot of builders don't put the canopy on until they're done. And I understand, you know, but to my eye, you really need to weather it in with the rest of the aircraft. And you'll notice I'm not doing anything to the prop because I'll deal with the prop later. That looks pretty good. I got to do the tail here. Only thing that really kind of concerns me is the sides here, but they're not. I'm not concerned enough about it that I'm going to do anything about it. See how I am? Yeah, I'm not sure I like that, but I'm not going to do anything about it. Sometimes you just got to let things happen. You know, not to sound like Bob Ross, but the guy had some good points. Sometimes you just got to let stuff happen. Obviously, I'm not going in the direction of airflow down here on the bottom because I can't. Okay. Where did I get this brown or whatever over here? Whoa. Oh, I got it over there, didn't I? All right, there we go. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking I'm pretty happy. Bob Ross, happy Corsairs, yes. Yes, happy Corsairs. I am gonna remove some of the stuff off the side. This gets the stuff out of the bristles when you rub it on something other than the sandpaper. It allows you to take some stuff off. I need to build me a turntable. I've been talking about doing that for a long time, and I've obviously never done it because it would sure make stuff like this easier. Okay. So I got the sides kind of cleaned up pretty good. Can you see that? So all I'm going to do wet that tip a little bit and come in here and clean up the stars and bars. Just like that. On the side, I'm not going to worry about the wing ones, but it would not be unusual for a ground crew, for a crew member or something to come up here and wipe the national insignia off on the side. And that's so apt to do it on the wing because you obviously don't want to be walking around on the wing and stuff. So yeah, so something like that. So, and that's where this is going to stay. Well, I got to do the tops of the tires. I didn't finish the tires. The tires are important. And I should have done that before I wetted the brush, but I didn't. So now I'm getting streaks on the tires, but that's okay. Again, and the prop, I do the prop all on its own. The prop's just on here because I wanted to put it on here, but the prop is a completely different thing. And I see something here that I'm not real crazy about, and that's this. You see this here, and then we got like this not so. So I need to clean some of this up here. Okay. There's that. I think we need some. Yeah, I know. I'm rushing the wrong way. Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Okay. Now the killer part is I can't clear coat this right now. I can't clear coat it right now. But the process is going to be clear coat it, come back and do the chips, do some chipping with the silver pencil, with this guy right here, Prismacolor silver pencil. I'll get one. You need the silver and you need the white. That's what you need. You need these. They're well, they were less than $2 when I bought these, and I think I bought these ones, I don't know, quite a number of years ago. Sometime within the last 10 years, though. So yeah, so that's the whole thing as far as pastels go. The lighting in here is pretty bright, so this is a lot more stark than it looks like on camera. So maybe I should take some stills and I'll post some stills on the Facebook page. But yeah, so that's it. So next time, after it's clear coated, next time we'll do chips, and preferably tortilla chips with some really nice salsa. No. You know what? You know why tortilla chips exist? Because you have to have something to put the salsa on, right? I love salsa. You have to have something to put the salsa on. Because what else are you going to do? That's the only reason tortilla chips exist. I'm convinced. The only reason. Corn chips work pretty good too. And I guess they're kind of the same thing, right? Yeah. Oh well. Anyway. It's kind of like when you go to the parts store. I sold car parts for a long time. As some of you know, I'm looking at you. No. And, you know, you walk into the parts store and there's the chemical. You go down the chemical aisle and there's like this 12 or 16 foot section all the way to the roof of all these different chemicals, you know, all these different jars of chemicals and stuff. And you know what? There's about 4 or 5 different things, and the rest of them are just different labels. Sorry, I was thirsty. So, yeah. You know, it's like, oh yeah, you know, we got 47 different things up here. Well, no, actually you have 4 different things in 47 different bottles. That's what you have. I need some place to put this thing, so I need to get this out of the way. So I'm going to play with the lighting on the display case here. And that has been interesting because I've got this RGB LED strip, and so I'm going to be mounting it in there. But what's cool about it is, well, I thought it was cool. If you know anything about black and white photography, a lot of times in black and white photography you use a red filter to boost contrast. So I have this Rufe. Is it a roof or a Rufe? I've always said Rufe, but whatever. In the display case here, and it's the light gray green, and it's got the, you know, the red Inamaros on it. And when you turn on the red LEDs with no other lights in the room, it looks exactly like, you know how those meatballs are kind of stark on a black and white photo of a Japanese aircraft. That looks exactly like that, and that's pretty cool. I thought so. Anyway, so what was I doing? I'm going to get rid of this. So let me move this. And I'm going to have to get the clear coat on it fairly quickly because I don't want dust to settle on it, right? And you'll notice I didn't use any other colors other than the grays. And the reason for that is because of the coral on the islands. Now, I could have thrown some red in there, because the corals, some of the corals kind of pinkish, but I didn't. So there, near. Let's see here. Where do we want to go from here? The 109. Should we work on the 109? Oh, there goes my lights. I just knocked them down. Yeah, here's that light strip. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have seen these. Once I get it in here and whatnot, I'll show you guys what it's all about once it's all done. Alright, so the shoebox, you see the shoebox? Here's the shoebox. I don't even remember where I am on this. So I decided I'm going to do an E3. Condor Legion E3. And which means I don't need a lot of this stuff. And I was just looking to see if there's both intakes, and there is. They have the standard and they have the tropical. Cool. So I don't have to worry about that. So here is my RLMO2 interior. And what is this? Oh, that's part of the insides. For what? That, do I need to worry about that? I want to try and seal this thing up. That's on there, that's on there. What is that thing? What goes inside the cockpit? Or inside the fuselage? Those are the guns, right? But I don't need to worry about that. It goes in the lower radiator. Okay. So it goes in here. So I don't need to worry about it right now. Okay. So, what are we going to do? Well, obviously, I need to figure out what to do with this instrument panel. And the seat. The seat's got belts molded into it. And that's all fine and dandy, but here's what's interesting to me. And you know, this, I mean, honestly, this goes together really, really, really well. But I don't really understand the pins here in the fuselage are so tight that I'm having a hard time getting it together. So, and I'm not sure if that's because of paint, which it might be, because the ones on the back seem to go together fine. Or if it's just because. All right, so so here's where your choices come in. I got the base color in the cockpit. The parts are in here. You can literally go crazy trying to get all the right colors and the fuel line colors and the outlines on the dash and this and that and the other thing, which is fine. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Or you can just kind of do an abbreviated thing, which is what I do a lot of times, where I throw some black in here, maybe some silver, maybe some red on some switch covers, hit the dials with the white pencil, and be done with it. So, and that's entirely up to you. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start with, should I start with the belts? Should I paint the belts? I want to paint the belts first. Okay. Jeff, are you still here? I bet you Jeff is still here. Question for Jeff. 109E3. I'm assuming, from what I know, the cockpit is RLMO 2, correct? Or not? Yes. Oh, yes, you're still here. So RLMO 2 or RLM 66? I think they were 02, and then I think when they started refitting some of the E's with different stuff, they when they redid them, they were doing the 66 when they sent them to depot. That's what I think, but I'm not an expert in this field. But trim this thing off. I don't know why, because I'm not going to do anything with it right now. Something interesting about the 109s, I think, is the E series. They actually took over the lifetime of the E series and upgraded, like the E1s and the E3s and stuff. All the parts were interchangeable through the E series, from what I can tell. I could be wrong. It's supposed to be 02. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, thank you. So you'll see like E1s with the later styles canopy, the later style center canopy, that still have the early windscreen and stuff like that, which I just think's interesting that you know, it was that modular that they could do that. So here's something fun. I don't know what the heck this thing is, but I've seen it painted silver a lot of times. And rather than get the paint out and go crazy, I'm just gonna hit it with this pencil. Just like that. And it's done. Man, my neighbor's upstairs. But I've seen both in color photos, light gray, dark. Yeah, right. Yeah, and they take them to depot and retrofit them, and very interesting, very interesting. So there's that. And then, well, I got the pencil in my hand. I might as well put some wear in here and tear in here in some places, which, you know, where the feet go mainly. And then there's a couple things you can do for black stuff. Not the least of which is a marker. You have to be careful with a marker. This has to be your top coat. This will bleed through paint. So if you're gonna paint over the top of this, don't. You can't do it. It'll bleed through your paint. Trust me, I know. So yeah, don't do it. But so I'm just going to use this here on this, whatever that is. All right. And here on this, I don't know, that's like a letterbox or something, huh? Yeah, why not? What the heck? Yeah, a lot of times you're just trying to get some contrast in these places, and you're not necessarily trying to get something accurate. Sometimes it's just more about making it interesting. So I just hit that switch panel right there, so we'll give that a second, and then I'll come back at it with the pencil. Now I can actually do this instrument panel with this pen, and I'm going to, because I still need to buy some new black, because my black enamel is trashed. It got over thinned and it doesn't work very well. So you're probably thinking, well, didn't you just say you can't paint over top of that? Yeah, I did, and I'm not going to, but I will. I'm just going to rub it with a pencil is all I'm going to do. Same with the switch panel. So I'm just, you can't see what I'm doing, unfortunately. And I should not have glued that stick in there until I had done this. But oh well. That's all right. That's most of it. Okay, I'm going to have to break out the paint. I didn't want to, but I'm going to have to. that just a mark slot? It is. It is. It is a. Actually, this is a Sanford. So this is an old. This is the old solvent-based ones, which you can't get anymore. Well, you can at an industrial supply, I think. I don't. Or can't. Yeah, no, you can't. You have to buy blanks. I'm trying to remember. See, we use them at work to mark cable, and for years and years and years, they worked fine because they were a solvent-based marker. And then what happened with all this, you know, anti-pollutant stuff, or whatever you want to say, highfalutin, anti-pollutant things, they decided that, oh, that stuff's not good for you, blah, 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 and went to an alcohol-based ink and all of these things, which is not a problem unless you're putting it on PVC and then you're trying to clean the PVC in alcohol or some kind of a cleaner, because then it just takes it right off. So we'll mark a reel. I mean, we don't do it anymore because we figured it out pretty quick. But you mark a reel, and then you cut it into pieces, process it, strip it, whatever you're going to do to it. And then you throw it into the alcohol bath or whatever to clean it, and the ink comes off. Not good. Not what you were hoping for, you know. So yeah, so I learned a lot about markers during that whole fiasco. And it really sucked. It really did. It was pretty aggravating. Because it's like, you know, we've been doing this for years, blah, 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 and now we got to change our stupid process because, you know, people are sniffing markers or whatever. You know, whatever they're doing. Norm! What are you up to, man? I haven't seen you in a long time. Oh. How are things up north? Whoa. Sorry. I'm moving that camera on you guys, huh? That's got to be causing you all kinds of grief. You're going, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, where am I at? All right. Wow, Norm. Norm built some amazing armor. And some amazing, what are those, scout troopers? Is that what those were that you built years ago? Those things were freaking awesome. Assembling metal tracks. Oh, how fun. How fun. Let's see here. So I gotta let that dry. I gotta do that. Woo, acetone. Woo. I had this whole basement filled with lacquer fumes earlier. I didn't even realize it. My boys are in here playing Xbox, and they're like, I come walking out of where I was painting at in the old workshop, and everything's like, there's this cloud, and they're just playing game. I'm like, did I smoking you guys out here or what? They didn't act like they really cared. Yes, resin scout troopers. Yeah. So anybody that sees this, I highly suggest you go check out Norm's Scout Troopers because they're freaking awesome. Plain and simple. They're awesome. So, okay, there's that, there's that, there's that. I think the only other thing I'm going to do, and see, this is where it gets to be your choice and do what you want, right? Is the only thing, other things I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the belts, and I'm going to, you know, while this black is drying, and then I'm going to come in here with the white pencil, and I'm going to go like this on the instrument panel, and that's it. That's as far as I'm going to go, because that's as far as I care. right. So yeah. So what am I doing? Wow. I know what I just said. No, I don't. Belts. I gotta paint the belts. I shoot the cockpit 02 and the instrument panel 66 or Euro Gray. Yeah. Euro Gray would work. What are my kids doing? The two that are up there making all the noise are actually adults. Actually, my oldest, my son turns 21 on Tuesday. Oh boy. Oh boy. And then my daughter just turned 18. Alright, I gotta have my eyes to do this. Never paint out of the jar. You can paint out of the lid, but never paint out of the jar. Right? And I know this is probably the wrong color, but I like it for belts. Oh, it's way too thin. It's all over the place. And that's okay, because I'll just, when I throw the wash, I'll cover it up. Can you guys hear them, guys? I got the mic on directional, but I'm guessing you can still hear them, huh? And you know what? I'm going to do this boot. I didn't do the boot at the bottom. Oh, wow. I pushed that back. That lower instrument panel got pushed all the way back. Okay. I just got it back where it needs to be. Wow. Why the heck did that happen? All right. Hang on. All right, I need you guys. These guys right here. I need you guys right here. Push that guy back into place. So yeah, I missed painting half of it because it tilted back. I don't know why. What the heck that was all about. Well, I got to get the black out again anyway. No problem then, I guess. Okay. So that was some good old Tamiya buff for the belts. Not that that's correct, but it'll work. Acetone cleans anything. Okay, where's the black? I need the black again. Okay. Well, I gotta wait for that black to dry, so I'm kind of stuck right now. And that's actually not bad timing because I smell pot roast. I smell dinner, and it smells like red meat. So we're gonna let this thing sit here, but yeah, I need to figure out what the deal is with these pins, and if I'm right in that just that little bit of primer. See if this takes the primer off. You know, made those pins fit that tight. I mean, I could just cut them off. It ain't a big deal. But so yeah, so I'm gonna go have some dinner. But before I do that, thanks for the shout out and keep up the good work. Yeah, you too, Norm. We'll see you around. So I'm gonna go have dinner. But something I want to throw out there. I'm thinking about the thought has crossed my mind to push this back 2 hours, or maybe one. You know, I started doing it at 6 o'clock Mountain Time here because of the East Coast, it being 8 o'clock there. But maybe 9 o'clock isn't too bad there. I don't know that I want to go to 8 because that pushes it clear back to 10. But then the guys on the West Coast, like Jeff, you know, that makes it 6 o'clock for you. So I don't know, something to think about. If you guys got an opinion, let me know. Shane Vreeland. Shane, if you're out there, I still need your address, man. All right. So, hey, that's it. I'm going to go eat. You should probably do the same if you haven't. Have a good time. Have a good night. Take care of the people you love. We'll see you next time. Good night. Where's the off button? Where's the off button? Whenever is fine. Oh, you teenagers. Where is it? Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, I'm really leaving this time. Bye.